Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I am in Pokhara, Nepal, and I'm actually sitting at a cafe. It's called Kim's Cafe. So if I am talking very softly, it is because there are other people here, and there's some Zen music playing in the background. So I hope that the sound quality on this video will be okay. I'm making this video again on Facebook. It is not my platform of choice because, as I mentioned before, Facebook is not a place with these kind of topics. Facebook is a place where you brag about how good you look, what food you're eating, what activities you are doing. I save that for my Instagram page. Okay. So, quite frankly speaking, I've been quite depressed for many months now, which is weird because the last time I was depressed like this was when I was at ballet school and when I was in the ballet company. That's why to get out of that life. But I've just been very depressed with things that have been happening, and oh sorry, there's cars passing, and things that people have been saying to me. While I'm on this trip, on social media and also in person. So just to share one of the things, I did share it here on Facebook, but because this is actually for YouTube, so you all won't know about this, YouTube viewers, and most of my YouTube viewers are from the US and the UK. None are from Malaysia and South Africa, but anyway. So one of the first things that people talk about is someone said this to me: you think because you work in Malaysia and Singapore, that means you work in an environment friendly to LGBT people. What the hell? You honestly think I don't know how Malaysia treats trans people? You stone them, you bully them. So I don't know how true this is, because in the 30 odd years that I've been living motorbike passing in Malaysia, I have never heard of anyone being stoned for any reason, because I know that the method of execution in Malaysia, yes, they do have the death penalty, is hanging. So what I was surprised about was when this person made this comment, there were other Malaysians in the chat, and none of them said anything against it. Only I did. Nobody else did. And then also I did share this comment with a few people, few Malaysians, and none of you have said anything about it. So I am just assuming that maybe this is happening and I am just not aware of it. I am just not aware of the fact that LGBT people are being stoned to death in Malaysia. So you guys are gonna have to let me know whether this is true or not. Okay, let me see what else this person had to say. You honestly think, okay, then the next thing is, it is illegal for them, this is the LGBT people, to exist. They flee to Thailand and the Malaysian government still comes for them. Again, I don't know, I have a lot of LGBTQAI++ alphanumerical community friends, and like I said, I've never heard of stoning, but then again, maybe they're not telling me about it. And then the other thing is, none of them that I know have fled the country, especially not to Thailand. So I don't know, you gotta tell me. Okay, then it says, this person said, my partner is Thai and an academic. She was invited to Malaysia for some kind of academic ceremony. They refused to even shake her hand. She had to stand outside. This is all because she is a woman. Now, again, I don't know, because maybe, we all have different experiences. I live in Malaysia, and yes, men don't shake my hand. But I'm not offended by it, because first of all, I'm quite happy that they don't want to shake my hand, because I'm a married woman to a Muslim man, and I feel it's just respectful. But I just feel that they are being respectful when they don't shake my hand, if they are also Muslim. If the men are Muslim, of course, if they're not Muslim, then different culture, you can shake my hand, you can even kiss me or whatever. Although I personally don't like people to touch me, I have my space. But if a Muslim man does not shake my hand, I feel it's respectful, because I am not related to him. So thank you for keeping your hands off of me. But again, everybody's different. Just putting it out there. Okay. They didn't even know she's a lesbian. Otherwise, they probably would have locked her up. Yeah, again, I don't know about lesbians getting locked up in Malaysia just for being lesbians, because I personally know a lot of lesbians, and none of them have been locked up just for being a lesbian. I know of, not personally, but I know of lesbians who did get locked up for things that they did which is against the law, but not because they were lesbians. So again, like I say, maybe I don't know everything. Some Malaysian has to tell me what I'm missing here. Okay. And God forbid, if the person wanted to be openly trans, they would be tortured and killed by the government. So far, thank God, none of my trans friends have been tortured or killed by the government. And again, maybe there are trans people that are not my friends that are being tortured and killed by the government, but no one is talking about it. None of my trans friends have ever named me any person who has been tortured and killed by the government. So again, I am not sure whether maybe I'm just not seeing things, so you guys have to enlighten me. The one case I do know of is, of course, the Anwar Ibrahim sodomy case. That was public. He went to jail because of that. But actually, I think he went to jail not because of the actual sodomy, but because of the abuse of power, because he was trying to suppress the information. Anyway, that's another story. But other than that, I don't know what this person is talking about. I don't know why Malaysians allow this kind of rhetoric if it's not true. Note well, if it's not true. So maybe it is true. That's why there's no rebuttal. I don't know. I've only been living there for what, 34 years, 35 years. So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing things because maybe I move in different circles. Just let me know. Okay, so the next topic I want to talk about is this one. Okay, so this person here, I actually put this on Facebook, where I said, I just sat for an hour listening to my Indian Airbnb host here in Nepal, explaining to me how Malaysian women have no freedom. Now, he has never been to Malaysia. So I live in Malaysia. Women, okay, when he said Malaysian women, if he just puts it as Malaysian women, no, I think Malaysian women have freedom just like every other woman in other countries. But if you're talking about majority, which are Muslim women, then I will say, do they have freedom? Okay, in Malaysia, they don't have freedom of religion, which means if you are a Malay, you have to be a Muslim. But then again, maybe in the law you don't have freedom, but as an individual you do, as far as I'm concerned, because as an individual woman, you can still decide you don't want to be Muslim, change your religion. It might not be easy, but it's possible. And then you must just be prepared to face the consequences. Now, is the consequences you're going to get stoned to death? I don't think so. Unless you guys know something I don't know, but I don't think so. The other thing is, you might be ostracized by the public and your family. So to me, it's like, what's the big deal? It's a choice, right? You live with it or you go against it. But then also, I think people just saying Malaysian women are not free because they are Muslims. They should then also say Malaysian men are not free, or they should just say the majority of Malaysians are not free. They don't have freedom because the majority of Malaysians are Muslim. Male, female. So the not having freedom applies to both sexes. So why are you only sympathizing or supporting the freedom of women? Why are you not talking about the freedom of men? What about that? Because they're both in the same boat, right? Just saying. Okay, let me go on. The other thing also is this Indian Airbnb host, and he's not the only person. I mean, many people, that's why I've been so depressed. They've said that Africans, now he has never been to any African country, and neither have most of the people who talk to me, or they've been to one or two. They say that Africans are not capable of running their own countries and need the Europeans and USA to run it for them. Now, I have even heard South Africans say that black people cannot run the country. Only white people can run the country. Futsak. That's all I want to say to you. So why it makes me very depressed when people talk like this? These people have no understanding of what the apartheid system was and what it did to people. They don't know this. They don't care to know this. They just think it's affirmative action. Affirmative action was just one of the policies. There were many other policies. There was Immorality Act. There was the Group Areas Act. There was no voting rights. There was so many other things. And I think the fact that, okay, that's apartheid, but even just colonization. Africa belongs to Africans. If Africans want to mess up their country, so be it. If Africans want their country to improve, it must be Africans that must improve the country, not some superpower from outside or some white power from outside. It has to be the people in the country, whichever part of Africa they are in. Well, this is as far as I'm concerned. It has to be the people in that country, of that nation, who must make the effort to improve the country. So I have been very, very depressed when I hear people think that Africans are monkeys Which, that's what they're basically saying. That's why you need the white man, the white savior to come and save us. This has really depressed me, because I thought that we are all created in God's image, that we are all equal. Nobody is a monkey. We've already evolved from that stage of development, and that we should all be treated as equals. But I was wrong. Only the white people are human beings. Everybody else is just a little monkey. Okay, let me not depress myself any further. Let me go on. Okay, so the other thing that was said is... Okay, this is the one that now also really doesn't make sense to me. Okay. So my host told me that it was Arundhati Joy who made this stupid comparison, but it was actually Marina Mahathir who made it. Now, I'm not going to go in about who Marina Mahathir is, but anyway, I've never liked this woman to begin with, but that's another story. Now, you see, the reason why people talk like this, while I was talking to my host, he was having Google on his phone. So as he was talking to me, he was like Googling things, and he'll read one line and then just talk to me. So he probably got mixed up, because maybe Arundhati Joy, who is an Indian author and women's rights activist and writes books about gender inequality in India and whatever. Anyway, maybe she mentions just something about Malaysian women, and then he jumped to conclusions saying that it was her who said this, when it was not. It was Marina Mahathir, who herself is a Malaysian woman. Now, this is what Marina said. So, in 2006, an active campaigner for women's rights described the status of Muslim women in Malaysia. Sorry, lorry passing. Described the status of Muslim women in Malaysia as similar to that of black South Africans under apartheid. Can you see now why I'm depressed? What the hell is wrong with this woman? I don't know. Okay, let me not. I think for people who are South African, you understand this. You can understand why it would depress me that they compare Malaysian women's plight with South African apartheid. If you don't understand why I am depressed, then I don't know, what can I say? Anyway, let me not go further into that. Let me continue. Marina's remarks were made in response to a new Islamic law that enables men to divorce or take up to 4 wives. What does taking 4 wives got to do with apartheid? During the apartheid, no one was allowed to have more than 1 spouse. Nobody. It's only after the apartheid now, with our new South Africa, that tribes are allowed to have traditional marriages and have more than 1 wife. And the other thing is, I think women and men have to understand. You think it is easy for a man to just take another wife. You do know that a man has to propose, right? Every time a man wants to take a woman as his wife, he has to propose, and she has to consent to becoming his wife, which means the woman decides whether she wants to share him or not. And if he is already married, he has to ask his first wife if he can take another wife. And his first wife, if she doesn't want to share him, she can say no. If she doesn't mind, she can say yes. Or, like me, if my husband had to come and say to me he wants to take another wife, I would say yes. And then I would divorce him. Because I'm okay with him having 4 wives. I just don't have to be one of the 4. Again, It's a woman's choice. The man has the opportunity, but the woman has the options and the choices. So can we just like move on from there? Can we like evolve in understanding this? It's about consent, and the power is in the woman's hands. It has always been. When it comes to marriage, it has always been the woman's power. She has to say yes. It has to be consensual. If she says no, it's no. Okay, the law also granted husbands more authority over their wives' property. If you're stupid, like this Marina and all these women who don't understand that a man cannot just have 4 wives, that the women are the ones who have the power, then the man should have authority over your property, because you are an idiot. You will lose that property, you'll make him bankrupt, whatever, because you are stupid. Okay, now, from what I know is, if you have property as a woman, a Muslim woman, it's yours. And when they say a man has to have more authority over the woman's property, I've been told that a man can actually gift property to his wife while he is alive. Once he's dead and he didn't give to her, then it becomes the Sharia law will distribute it. Will distribute the estate. So basically, it's like a will. So while you're married, if you have a husband, make sure he gifts whatever you want to you while he's alive. But this one I'm not so clear on, so if anybody can inform me on what the real story is, let me know. But this has got nothing to do with apartheid. Nothing. Conservative groups such as the Malaysian Muslim Professionals Forum criticized her comments for insulting Sharia and undermining the prominent role of women in Malaysia compared to other Muslim and Eastern countries. I say amen to that. It is the truth. I think these people who talk like this, especially someone like Marina Mahathir, who's supposed to be well-traveled, well-educated. I have never met a Malaysian Muslim woman who feels she is so oppressed in the same way that black South Africans were oppressed during the apartheid. And let me tell you why I say this. I've been living in Malaysia for 34, 35 years. There has never been a Muslim woman's protest. I've never seen them marching in the street wanting freedom from Islam. Never. Ever. I know a situation is bad when people take to the streets. In all my life, my 35 years of living in Malaysia, I have never seen a protest. Because Bersih was an awareness campaign. It was to make people aware of the Reformation. It was not a protest per se against the government. But all the while that I've been living in Malaysia, I have never seen a protest against any policies in the government. I can hear people talk, we Chinese, we Indians, we are suffering, we have no rights. I've never seen you taking to the streets and protesting that you have no rights, that you have equal rights. No, because you're too busy making a lot of money to be worried about rights. Just putting it out there. Yeah, so anyway, so all I'm saying, if you're living in a country, you don't like things, take it to the streets. Be prepared to die for your cause. Be prepared to be humiliated, insulted, ridiculed. Die for your cause if you really believe in it. Stop complaining. South Africans and Malaysians, stop complaining. It's very depressing. My country's so bad. Every day, just negative. If you don't like it, then, like I said, protest. The worst thing that can happen to you is you can die. Dying for a good cause. You'll be a martyr. Forever a legend. So let me see if there's anything else I need to get off my chest. yeah, no, that's all. And I see nobody is live here, but that's fine. I don't know if this is really working. But anyway, you know, this is Facebook. Like I said, I don't like to do things on Facebook because Facebook is just a waste of my time. But anyway, that's how life is. That's how my life is. At the moment, it's just not a good life. It's the most depressing life I'm living. But anyway, hope everyone's having a good day. Cheers.